Hello everyone. In the last video of this series, we have discussed measures of central tendency or averages. Now, averages, as we have seen, give us an idea of the concentration of the observations about the central part of the distribution. That is, it gives us an idea about the entire distribution or the middle portion of the distribution. But see, if we know the average alone, we cannot form a complete idea about the distribution, as it will be clear from this example. So see here, I have taken three set of data. So in the first one, we have taken 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 numbers. Similarly, for the second one, we have taken 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And in the third one, we have taken 1, 5, 9, 13, and 17. So as you can see that each of these set of data contain 5 data. So I've written that n equal to 5 data, and if you calculate the mean of each of these set of data, you will get 9. So x bar is also equal to 9 for each of this case. Now, since each of this series is giving us same number or same means, we cannot predict, means if the mean is provided to us, that if it is given that the mean of 5 observations is 9, we cannot form an idea as to whether it is the average of the first series or second series or third series or any other series of 5 observations. No. So thus we see that the measures of central tendency are inadequate to give us a complete idea of the distribution. They must be supported and supplemented by some other measures then. So one of the measures is dispersion. One of the measures is dispersion. So what we do here is we first see how much the observations are deviated from the mean or from any number. So deviated means, so what do you mean by deviations? What do you mean by deviations? So deviation means, suppose we have this set of numbers x1, x2, xn, and suppose their mean is say x bar. The deviations means what is the difference between the observations and the mean. That is, the deviations are actually this x1 minus x bar, x2 minus x bar, in this way up to xn minus x bar. So these are the deviations, means this gives us an idea about how much the observations are uh, deviated or how much it is close to the mean or far from the. So this scatteredness can be measured using certain measures. So they are this range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, and standard deviation. That means using this we can measure this dispersions or scatteredness of the data from the mean or any other number. So in this video we are going to discuss the standard deviation, which is one of the measures of dispersion. Now, what is standard deviation? As you are familiar with this, I guess. So standard deviation, which we generally denote by sigma, is the positive square root of the arithmetic mean of the squares of the deviations from the given values of the arithmetic mean. So what we have? We have these things to note, that this is the positive square root of what? The arithmetic mean of what? The squares of the deviations of what? Of the given values from their arithmetic mean. Of the given values of their arithmetic mean. So what it actually means? What it actually means? So let us take a set of data, say x1, x2, xn, and their mean be, say, suppose the mean is x bar. So therefore the deviation of these data from the mean is what we have discussed now. This is x1 minus x bar, this is x2 minus x bar. In this way it is xn minus x bar. Now what is given? What is standard deviation? It is the arithmetic mean of the squares of the deviation. So for this we need the squares of the deviation. So the squares of the deviation. The squares of the deviation. What are that? This will be then take the squares. This is x1 minus x bar whole square. This is x2 minus x bar whole square. In this way it is xn minus x bar whole square. So these are the squares of the deviation. So what we are asked to find? We are asked to find this, that the arithmetic mean of the squares of the deviation. The arithmetic mean of the squares of the deviation means what? The sum of all this, the sum of all these deviations, the sum of all these squares of the deviations divided by their total number of observations, and this the square root, the positive square root of this will be given by sigma. So this is the standard deviation. So this is the standard deviation of the set of data x1, x2, xn. Now in summation notation, therefore in summation notation, how can we write sigma? So sigma is nothing but the positive square root of 1 by n summation over I equals to 1 to n xi minus x bar whole square. If instead of taking this observations x1, x2, xn, if we consider this observation with corresponding frequencies, they consider the distribution xi with corresponding frequencies fi, where I ranges from 1 to a certain number say n, then in that case the standard deviation or sigma will be given by what? Will be given by the positive square root of 1 by capital N summation over I equals to 1 to small n fi into xi minus x bar whole square, where capital N is nothing but the summation of all the frequencies. Summation of all the frequencies. Here summation of all the frequencies. Now if we remove this square root, then the term within the square root will be called variance. The term within the square root will be called variance. That is what the square of standard deviation is called the variance, and is given by this sigma square. This is equal to 1 by n summation I equals to 1 to small n fi into xi minus x bar whole square, where capital N is summation over I equals to 1 to n fi. So this is the square of the standard deviation. That is the variance. Now what we will do? We will convert this variance, definition of the variance, in some other form which will help us while finding the variance for a particular distribution. So let us find a simplified form of this. So this is different form for calculating variance. Different form for calculating variance. So what do you have now? So what you got? This is sigma square. Sigma square is equal to 1 by n summation over I equals to 1 to n fi into xi minus x bar whole square. Fi into xi minus x bar whole square. Now let us expand this xi minus x bar whole square. This will be xi square minus 2 xi x bar plus x bar square. Now let us separate the summation. This will be 1 by n summation over I fi xi square minus 1 by n summation over I fi into 2 xi x bar plus 1 by n summation over I fi into x bar square. Fi into x bar square. Now the first term, will leave the first term as it is, summation over I. This is fi xi square minus. Now see, the second term, this 2 and x bar, these two terms are independent of the summation as it does not involve any I. So we can bring the terms 2 and x bar out of the summation. So you can write this as 2x bar into 1 by n summation fi xi summation over I plus, similarly, the term here x bar squared is independent of the summation. So we can bring this out of the summation. We will have 1 by n summation over I fi. 1 by n summation over I fi. Now we know that this xi, not xi, this x bar is what? 1 by n summation of fi xi. 1 by n summation of xi and capital N is summation over I fi. So we'll substitute these values in the last line. So what we'll have? The first term is as it is, 1 by n summation over I fi into xi square minus 2x bar, and this term is x bar again from this definition of x bar. This is x bar square into 1 by n, and the summation fi is again n. This n cancels. So what is left with us? This implies that sigma square is equal to, what is the first term? 1 by n summation fi xi square. So this is 1 by n summation over I fi into xi square minus, let us see, 2x bar into x bar, that is minus 2x bar square plus 2x bar square, that is minus 2x bar square plus x bar square. So this gives us 1 by n summation over I, this is fi xi square minus x bar square. So if we now write the form of x bar square, or we write the definition of x bar square, so we can write that x bar is nothing but 1 by n summation over I fi xi, this whole square. So this is the working rule for finding this variance. So while doing problem, we will use this formula to find the variance. We will use this formula to find the variance. Also, we can note that this will also be helpful while doing this one. Also, we can note that if say x1, x2, xn are variables, and we define a new variable yi by this one, xi minus a, xi minus a by h, then let us see how the variance of x and the variance of y, these are related. So what is I is up to 1 to n. So let us see how the variance of x, of this x1, x2, xn, suppose we denote it by sigma square with the x in the suffix to denote the variance of x, and next one is the variance of y1, y2, yn, which is related by the above definition, that is yi is equal to xi minus a by h, where a and h are constants. A and h are constants. This suppose it denoted by sigma square y. Let us see how they are related. Now, what we can do is that what is x bar? We know that x bar is we know that x bar is or we have x bar is equal to summation 1 by n summation of uh, fi into xi. This is nothing but 1 by n summation 1 by I. What is xi from this relation? What we can write xi? We can write xi is equal to a plus h into yi. So put the value of xi. This is a plus h into yi. This is 1 by n. If you separate this, what will happen? It will be 1 by n. So since let me write it in a single line. Since a and h are constants, what you can write is this is we can write this as a into 1 by n summation over I fi plus h into 1 by n summation over I fi yi. Now summation fi is same as n. You can cancel this, and this term 1 by n summation fi is nothing but the mean of y, that is y bar. So what we got, x bar is equal to a plus h into y bar, a plus h into y bar. So therefore xi minus x bar. So what will be xi? What you got the xi? Xi is a plus h into yi. This is a plus h into yi minus y bar. What we got y bar? Y bar is a plus h y bar. A plus h y bar. So what you got this one? This is h into yi minus y bar. So h into yi minus y bar. So therefore, sigma x squared, that is variance of the observations including x. This is what 1 by n summation over I fi into xi minus x bar whole square, fi into xi minus x bar whole square. So this is nothing but 1 by n summation over I fi into, now xi minus x bar is whole square is h squared into yi minus y bar whole square. So this is h squared into 1 by n summation over I fi into yi minus y bar whole square, which is nothing but sigma square y. So what we got, that sigma x square is equals to h square into sigma y square. So what you can say that if you take the square root, positive square, this will be what? Sigma x is equal to positive square root of h square into sigma y square. We can write this as mod h into sigma into y. So this is how the variance of x and variance of y are related. Now let us see an example of this. So I've written here these values of x are given with their corresponding frequencies. So let us do this one. So what we have, what we got now. So we got this. Let us remove these things. I don't require this right now. Let us remove these things. Let's remove this one also. These things are not required for now. So what we have, so we have written this data in tables. So the first column contains this xi's, the second column contains the corresponding frequencies. Now since the values of xi's are large, what we'll do, we will use a step deviation method as discussed in the last video. You can check the last video for this one. So what we will do, we have step deviated. So we have subtracted 240.16. We have taken this value in from the middle, 240.16, and we have subtracted 240.16 from each of the values. So we got this, the third column. And since we have a common factor 0.01, so we have divided it by 0.01. So actually what is y? yi is actually xi minus what, 2416 divided by 0.01. So from this what we can say? We can say that xi is equal to 240.16 plus 0.01 into yi, and therefore from the last result we can say that sigma square x is equal to 0.01 square into sigma square y. So let us find this. So find this table, fi into yi and fi into yi square. Find the values. Now put the values in the formula. Formula means the working formula that we have discussed here. The working formula that we have discussed here. This working formula. In this working formulas we need an fi xi square and summation fi xi. So we found this fi yi and fi yi square. Then we got the variance of y square. So variance of y square is this is actually sigma y square. So we got this value, this is 11.6 in calculations. Now therefore what you are asked to find? We are asked to find variance of x. So variance of x using this formula. Which formula? So this variance of x, this is equal to mod h, or sorry, h square into variance of y. So this is 0.01 square into variance of y. Put the values, will get like this, and therefore taking the positive square will get this to be the standard deviation of the values of x. Okay, that is all for this video. We'll meet again in the next video, which will contain moments. Thank you.